how did you team up with Tony Scotti? And you can give me a background of who that is.
Okay. The Tony Scotti is part of three brothers whose dad was involved with starting the Teamsters in New Jersey, and the boys were all football players. Tony's older brother, Ben, was a professional football player with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. Tony was a star football player at the University of Maryland, but he was also an entertainer, a singer, and a musician. And after he got out of college, he became a professional actor and a singer, made records. He was in Valley of the Dolls as the juvenile lead. And he started eventually a promotion company where he would promote Olivia Newton-John or John Denver or a number of people like that. I was a producer. This was in the late 70s. I needed talent. We got to know each other. He had access to the talent. He had an artist then who was named Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett was a teen idol. And I had a relationship with CBS, and I was able to sell them a pilot special with Leif Garrett. I didn't represent Leif Garrett. So I had to go to Tony Scotti and say, hey, this is good news. We have sold a special with your artist. And as a result of that, we started a company called Syd Vinnedge Television, and we also had been working on a show which was America's Top 10, which I referred to earlier. And because Tony was in the record business, he knew that record companies would make these little videos of their artists singing a song to send to Romania or to send to New Zealand, because the artists didn't want to go to those countries, and they still wanted to sell records there.
Sure.
Nobody in the United States knew that these existed because the record companies didn't want people taking advantage of them and putting them on television here, especially the artists. The artists wanted to make money at concerts.
Sure.
But we knew those existed. We were able to take advantage of it, and that's how we really cemented our company. And then we went on and did a lot of shows. We must have done like 15, 20 series, specials, started a syndication company, and eventually grew into All-American Television.
I see. What about Fremantle?
Oh, Fremantle, it's interesting. It's we had a partner in the 90s who had an international distribution company. And his company was called Fremantle. And it was called Fremantle because one of his earlier partners' wife had come from Fremantle, Australia. Fremantle, Australia is near Perth on the west coast of Australia. And a lot of people don't realize it, but that Fremantle is spelled with one E, F-R-E. And this fellow was our distributor internationally with Baywatch, and we were having some discussions with him. He was also a distributor of the format and some shows of the Goodson Library. And Goodson was the largest game show producer in the world. They were just huge. They produced well over half of the game shows in the United States. And we bought his game show distribution company from him, only to realize that he really didn't have the rights to the shows. And therefore we had to buy then the Goodson company after that in order to take advantage of that. And that's how we got into the game show business. And that's how we acquired Fremantle. Because when we acquired him, we also acquired the name Fremantle.
I see.
So that was the history behind that. I hope that answered your question.
No, definitely.
Thank you for watching this interview with Syd Vinnedge. And please, watch the next video in this series.